daughter, and he's ordered a week of festivals, parties, drinking, everything in your honour as a group. There's already starting to have plenty of like market stalls and various sort of carnival type games here, there, and everywhere. Some dancing, some drinking, various things, bits and pieces. So if there's any downtime you're wanting to do now, before I carry on, best time is now.
Well, one of Kylie's flaws is once she starts drinking, it's hard for her to stop. So she's getting very involved in the drinking scene.
Fair enough.
Trying to remember that she needs to do a little bit of shopping whilst drinking. But everyone just keeps on offering her another drink for being one of the heroes.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, a drink. It'd be so rude for me to refuse. Okay, then I'll have another drink. And getting absolutely trashed every night.
Yes. So that's what Kylie's doing.
I'll keep behind her just to keep an eye on her, make sure she doesn't get into too much trouble at a distance.
Lyria?
Maybe we should get a lead for Feathers so she doesn't wander off.
I'm going to go look at the stalls. Is there anything useful?
There's lots of miscellaneous trinkets. There's one that's got sort of occult stuff. It's got like crystal balls and shrunken heads and stuff on it.
Can I tut and say I don't believe in any of that stuff?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, there's ones with jewellery on it, lots of sparkly jewellery, and one with lots of clothing on it, some with trade goods such as cloth and threads and stuff.
I don't think I've got any money. I'm not sure, actually. How much have I got?
I don't know.
I'll get a golden arrow. Is that just sellable?
Yeah,
Or is that a thing?
you can sell your golden arrow if you want to sell your golden arrow.
Yeah, how much do we get for that?
Right,
I've got 15 gold, apparently.
Right. It is worth 25 gold pieces. Here's your golden arrow. Is there anything you're doing, Leah?
He's been probably doing a couple of things. He'll probably go looking. He'll sell his arrow as well because he was skint before. Probably try and find. For some reason, he's got a bit of a hankering for some sort of like he wants some sort of like a shawl, like a really light white shawl type of thing that he can just kind of throw over, like open in the front, but he can get his arms through it, just to be something pretty for himself. And then he would probably want to catch up with Vulcan.
There is a shawl. It's exactly as you describe, and it is the exact one that you wanted. And it is 2 gold pieces.
Half that, so he's now flowing quite happily.
Whilst Kylie is belligerently drunk, she remembers that she wants to try and buy a short bow and some arrows, so she'd like to try and find the weapon shop whilst drunk.
Do you want to make me an investigation with disadvantage?
Yeah.
What did you get?
8.
You didn't find it. You couldn't find a weapon shop. However, let's see. After about an hour of wandering around, some random guy manages to help you find the weapon shop.
She's going to go in and she's going to start asking about buying a short bow and some arrows for herself.
Yeah, he's got plenty of arrows, short bows in there and stuff like that. It's basic stuff around here.
How much are your short bows?
How much is what, sorry?
Your short bows.
Short bows. I will just have a look. Short bows. Let's see. Can you do me an insight?
Yeah.
With
Do you want us to let it?
disadvantage
Yeah.
because you're drunk. Right, he says, oh, 30 gold for a short bow.
That's a bit more expensive than I was thinking.
It's the going rate.
I have some things to trade, and I don't know if you heard, but we are part of the heroes that saved the king's daughter. Could you do some money off for that?
Hero discount.
He sort of has a think, and he sort of smiles a bit. He says, 25 gold for you then.
So I can offer some leather armor and some a dagger towards it.
You'll have a look at the leather armor. Let's have a look. He'd take off 10 gold for the leather armor and lost it. And 2 gold for the dagger.
Got anything else? Shit. No, I've got fuck all. So kind of, she'll look very, very disappointed and sad, and still, real slurring her words because she is hammered. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to waste your time. I just cannot afford it. I'm afraid.
Maybe you should lay off the drinks, my dear.
How dare you? This is my happy place.
Sure it is, my love. I'm sure it is.
And with that, I will walk, stagger away, and probably fall into Nick's at some point.
Yeah, you're coming out as I'm coming in.
Right, so what are you doing next? Are you just following her about?
I was going to go to the same place and ask if I could swap my sword for a shield.
What sword do you have?
It's just a normal short sword.
Yeah, they'll do a straight swap for that. They're
Yeah.
worth about the same.
Yeah, that would be good for me. She's not going to say much. She ain't much of a talker.
Fair enough. Quite happy with just straight trade.
Yeah, I'll nod my thanks and leave quietly and follow after. See what she's getting up to. Can we still see the others about?
Lyria's walking through the marketplaces, and Leah has just bought a very fancy looking shawl.
Kylie's going to see Nix come out. She's going to stagger up very, very drunkenly. Go, that shopkeeper was so mean to me. He wouldn't let me buy a short bow.
Well, I'm sure he would have let you.
No, he was mean.
That seems all right to me. Look, I got a natty new shield.
But I wanted a short bow, and I gave him this leather armor and this dagger, but he wouldn't do it. He was mean to me.
How much did he offer?
He said that it was 25, and then minus some amounts, which he was mean.
To be honest, that doesn't actually sound that bad.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe lay off the booze. We'll catch up with the others, see what they're up to.
Okay. Because she's going to turn sad, her wings are just going to go.
Oh.
Aww.
Oh.
I feel bad now.
She's like one of those, you know, like one of those drunks that just turns into a little kid when they're absolutely hammered. So I didn't get my own way, so now I'm sad.
Get you some fruit juice and sober you up a bit.
Thank you.
Right, so Leah, you wanted to go see Vulcan.
It's a god, but just make sure he knows what's happening.
So yeah, Vulcan's where he usually is. So if you want to go and see him, you're more than welcome to.
Yes.
As you enter, he says, "Ah, Leah, my good friend, I hear that this festival's in your name."
Mine and my associates, and he's like bowing like really, really awkwardly, deeply, arm like away out at the side.
He chuckles and he comes over and he sort of pats you on the back. He says, now, don't get bogged down with details. I promised you an item. I promised you something magical, something good. And I think I found the perfect thing for you. And he sort of shuffles off and he goes into the back and he brings out 2 items and he says, you can choose which you want. The other I'm just going to sell because I've got to make money somehow. And he puts down a little pearl on the table and he puts down a cloak on the table. He said,
Yeah, this is Leah we're talking about, so you just instantly look at the cloak.
he can have the cloak if you want the cloak. That is a cloak of protection +1.
Nice.
And it is very fancy. You can tell that he's managed to get a tailor to put like fancy gold embroidery all in it.
Oh my lord, you are too kind. This is exquisite.
He says, paid good money for that one. Enjoy it.
Flips it round and puts it on.
Oh,
Flips it.
claps his hands together. Just perfect. Suits you perfect.
He's like totally checking himself out. And thank you once again, my lord. It is much appreciated, and I am happy we managed to get your granddaughter back.
Oh yes, I'm extremely happy we got her back. We didn't want her sent off to the sacrifices.
Indeed.
But feel free to come back anytime. And don't forget, you get that forge working, I'll make you some brilliant weapons.
I did mean to ask. I was given some advice that I might have to visit the forge in the mountains, and I would have to seek out the forge master. Is that you, or is that someone else?
The forge master. Let me have a look. Oh, come on, book. Right. So
Forge keeper. Forge keeper.
the forge keeper is in the mithril mines It's not Vulcan, and he doesn't really know who it is. He's been in Astoria for a long time now. So he says you'd have to go to the Mithril mines to find out who that is.
Okay. Does another big bow, but like pulls the cloak out to the side in a sort of dramatic flourish bow, just totally hamming it up.
Vulcan does a bit of an awkward dwarfish bow as well.
If you please, I will take my leave, my lord.
He says, "No worries, come back anytime."
I thank you, and he does another bow.
So, unless any of you want to do anything else for the remainder of this specific day,
No, I've
No, I
pretty
think-
much done what I wanted to.
okay,
I'm good with just following people around.
can all of you make a perception check?
Mm.
Is mine still going to be at disadvantage, or
You are drunk,
So-
so yes, it is.
yeah?
Oh, perception was that?
Perception, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you wake up the next day, and Kira wakes you all up, gets you all ready for have your breakfast and that. Oh, is that me? Who was that? Oh, someone's back.
No.
So yeah, so once you've got up and had your breakfast and stuff, Kira comes to you and she hands you a poster, and she says, "Look at this."
Oh.
Oh,
She said this was posted around town yesterday, so it's tonight.
They've already made a play about us.
Apparently, it's supposed to be a week-long thing, and each one's supposed to be about your origins.
Oh, Christ.
I'm sure that won't be terribly interesting for me.
Hopefully they miss a load of it out for me.
Kira
What?
has a bit of a chuckle and she says, I don't know how true to fact it will actually be, but it might be worth checking out. I mean, you are the Oracle's chosen, after all.
It might be interesting to see what they come up with, but
I get real excited to watch Shades.
Because Kylie's having a sad day, she's just got this imminent feeling of just dread of what's going to be shown on her. So she just kind of withdraws in on herself. It's like, I don't know if I want to go see mine. My head hurts.
well, the rest of us might, but I doubt mine's going to be very interesting. What I was kidnapped, I was chucked on a boat, and now I'm here with you lot.
Classic
I want
tragedy.
to see that one.
Ah,
I want to see that one. I want to get to know you better next.
mm,
But yeah, Kira says that apparently tonight's just supposed to be the opening night. So it might be worth going and seeing what it's all about. I mean, it's about
Mm.
you.
Do we get it for free?
Well, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, there's nothing
Here's
else
me
you can
wanting to
always give them tips on the costumes if they are inaccurate.
I mean, I'm sure the Gianni would appreciate some constructive criticism.
Do we know who this Gianni is?
You won't. Anybody that's been around the area would have probably heard of him. So
Really not then.
yeah, so only people that have sort of been around this area, that have lived in this area, would have heard of him. Whereas you
Kylie's still looking at things like, is there music?
probably most of our plays have music here.
Um, I may be interested in speaking to the composer people, the musicians.
Oh, well, you've got the day. It won't be on
Can I
till.
mark us down as a long rest? Sorry.
Yes, you can all have a long rest. That was
Does
why.
look rather dense, doesn't he? Can I look at Shade's picture?
Yeah.
Looks a bit cross-eyed.
Ah.
Oh, why am I sideways?
Use the arrow keys to,
Oh, is it?
maybe,
No.
I think.
Scroll wheel as you've got your token highlighted. Or is it shift and scroll?
Yeah.
Yeah, shift and scroll.
Hey. Oh, no, I'm Australian now.
So
There
yeah,
we
you
go.
can spend the day enjoying the scenery. Lots of market stalls, even more than yesterday. Lots of foods, more food stalls this time. Little bakeries and stuff like that. Lots of.
Can I get some sweets?
You can get some sweets.
I'm going to sneak them into the amphitheatre. Is it going to be expensive in there?
That's a good point, actually. Could I find out where these plays are going on and just have like a quiet nose about to see what's going on? See if I can.
The amphitheatre is down here.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously quite large in comparison to probably anywhere else that you've seen. But it's sort of set down into a hill.
Yeah.
Sort of on its own a bit. There's not much around it, and as the hill goes up, that's where the rows of seats are, sort of set into stone. It's just so that everybody's got a good view of the stage, like it's nice and what's the word?
Sloped.
Sloped will do.
I'll
used to
have my
build-
hood up and have a bit of a spy about.
They used to build them into hills, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what this one's built into
Yeah.
a hill. But yeah, there's lots of people sort of milling about, rushing about, doing various things. However, you don't see any cast members, nor do you see anyone that looks like it might be Gianni.
Right.
It seems like you might be a bit early.
Thought I might have seen him practicing or something.
So I'm just seeing what's been sent, and I'm going to try and turn myself down.
All right.
So yeah, so you've got the rest of the day enjoying various delicacies. Lyria's got some sweets. You can all get various food items. There's most different savoury sweets, everything, most things that you can think of. And Kira suggests that you go a bit earlier than usual to get a good seat, because you are, of course, the stars of the show.
I think about buying some cabbages.
You can think about what you want.
Throw them at Shade when he comes out.
Yeah, Kylie will just be sat down there waiting for the cast and performers to arrive.
So you all go into the theatre, yeah? With Kira's suggestion.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Can I buy some alcohol?
yeah.
I do look over 18, even though I'm not.
Right.
Sneak in.
So you get to the theatre and the site is very different to what you saw earlier, Nix. It's very quiet. There's nobody here, and there is one gentleman in front of the stage on the floor with his knees to his forehead, and he is sobbing uncontrollably.
No.
Kylie will see this and she'll kind of come down the steps. She's like, Sir, what's wrong?
It's ruined. It's all ruined.
What's ruined?
The cast, they've all gone. The play,
What do you-
it's ruined.
Couldn't
do you
even
mean
write
gone?
it down.
It's all ruined.
What do you mean the cast is gone?
They've just gone. They've just took the script, they've chucked the costumes, and they've gone.
Do you know where they've gone? Are they just all different directions?
I've no idea. I come back after getting some lunch, and it was just gone.
Oh, that's not very good for the opening night. We could try and look for them for you if you want.
I mean, you could try, but the show's due to start any minute now. I mean, look! And you turn around and you see that there's people sort of filing in slowly.
Well, I mean, like, the play's about us, right? I mean, we could play ourselves.
Don't even think
Don't even
about it.
think about
Feathers.
it. That's what I was going to say.
Remember, I am a bard, so I'm quite happy to go up on stage.
When you say that, the gentleman sort of stands up a bit and he sort of wipes his face. He says, "You would do that for me."
Well,
Nope.
I would. I don't know about the others.
I'll
I
pay
just
you
feel the
well.
daggers.
I mean,
I'm happy to do it. I can try and help out on multiple parts if needed.
Even my snakes are shaking their heads and going, no.
I can help out for Nix as well, apparently.
well, I guess it'll only be you that gets paid then, wouldn't it?
I will do it on one condition.
What's the condition?
That I get to play Shade.
You can play whoever you want as long as we've got an opening night.
I'm going to try and remember his backstory now. Can I try and cross my eyes?
That's
Uh,
brilliant, he says. He sort of has a bit of a chuckle.
Can I try out evil laughter?
Yeah, you can try it out. You can practice. He sort of, the gentleman looks beyond you three, and he looks at Leah and what he's wearing. He says, "You," and he sort of gestures you over. He says, "Come, look." And he sort of points to behind the stage where there's rows and rows and rows of costumes. He says, "They took the original ones, but I'm sure you, my good sir, can find something amongst that. This is my
Here,
best collection."
there's a moment here where if it was in a cartoon, it would be like a wily coyote, sort of. One minute he's there, the next minute he's gone, and it's just like a puff of smoke.
And the gentleman, he introduces himself as Gianni, and he says he can store the crowd for as long as needed, as long as we've got a show to put on. So at this point, I'll speak a bit out of character now. You can then need to create a play. So we need acts. So you've got basically, you need to choose a setting. You need to pick character archetypes. So obviously you're playing yourselves, so you can expand upon that a bit more. You can create a story out of it, so like a hero and a villain, a bit of comic relief in it, that kind of thing. So assign yourselves them sort of roles. And then you need 3 acts with 2 scenes in each act. Every character needs to appear in each act, but not necessarily in each scene. And there must be at least 2 characters in a scene. So each act must achieve a certain goal. So in Act 1, you show who the characters are and what they want. Act 2, the villain makes his or her move and your characters get into trouble. And in Act 3, the heroes confront the villain and foil his or her plans. So that is your basic structure, and you can take it and do what you want with it.
All the characters. Every one of us has to.
All of you have to be in it. Otherwise, you ain't getting paid.
Oh, I'll take Shade and me then. I think I'll do his demeanor justice.
So you can create a little story amongst yourself as to what you're doing. So it depends whose origin story you want to do.
Origin story.
You could do one of the
I thought it was
origin
just making it-
stories. You can just make it up. Or you can do whatever you want.
It's easier if we just make it up. Then we can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
I'd
he
be
could-
quite happy being a bad guy. You can all foil my plans, and
We could do the boar. That'd be easy.
yeah,
We've already
I
done the
could just
boar.
stand there and miss everything.
Gianni sort of looks between you all, and he says that they've got special effects and stuff like that you can use, and he also encourages using spells to get certain effects. It's quite normal that's what goes on in plays.
I like the idea of doing the ball.
I hear you had this great hero called Kazarak. I may be able to help with that.
Oh yeah, we can dress you up as a cow. I am a big cow fighter. I am big hero, but can't be bothered today with the group.
Is there a bit
Split
of
it up.
feelings there, Nick?
I just look down, shake my head, and walk off.
So, what are you going to do for your first act and your first scene?
Would it be like all of us meeting up? If we go for like the seed of the ball, we can start with us all meeting up and saying that we're going to go kill this big bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being in the pub. I'll get the alcohol out.
Ooh, alcohol.
Always a pleasure.
Gonna pour some alcohol. Let's get drunk and do it.
It might take away my nerves.
Kylie sees the alcohol coming out and she just kind of walks over. As
None for you.
Oh, you're pouring some alcohol?
Oh, hello.
So, Leah, do you want to make me an investigation with advantage? Because this is your thing. 20. You find practically perfect outfits for each of you, for whoever you want to be. So we've got a Minotaur outfit. So you've got like a hat that's got like big bull horns on it, and a nice fur cloak which can act so it looks a bit like a Minotaur. You find a nice robe that looks a bit like Shades. So
How can I put it on?
so Lyria can put it on. And you find a big head that looks a bit like a pig's head. I mean, it's not as elaborate as the great ball that you killed, but it's good enough that Nix can put that on. And who are you playing, Leah? Say that again, you cut out.
Just I think who else it is apart from me.
Fair enough. But yeah, you can find props and bits and pieces amongst yourselves, especially with that investigation check. You can pretty much make it look as pretty as you want.
Yeah, I need to try and think of something to recreate Chiron. Don't know if there's any pantomime horse shenanigans we can do for Chiron.
There are plenty of pantomime horsey type costumes.
I think it'd be a 4-man scene then.
We could rig up a horse costume to have it on wheels and we can pull him around.
That's true. Just get a couple of clothes racks and put some stuff over them.
So, who's your first act going to be?
So what was the theme for the first act again?
The theme was introducing the characters, who they are and what they want, what you're doing, that kind of thing. So Nick suggested it's the meetup. So you can have 2 scenes, obviously, because there's only 4 of you. You're gonna have to act out 2 scenes to introduce everybody in finger hyphens.
And I walk up and down, saying, "Oh, something missing. There's something missing." Can I go up to a cloak, rip a bit of fur off, and stick it to my chin? That's it. And try and glue it on.
Yeah.
I think I've got him.
Kylie's going to try on all the Minotaur stuff and look at Nick's. Like, what do you think?
I'm going to cast disguise stealth on me to turn myself into to Kazarak and go, he was a bit more butch in the shoulders. Can you puff yourself up a bit?
1 second.
Or I'll stick with this. You put some fake snakes on your head and be me.
No, my wings aren't playing game today. My shoulders won't go much wider.
Okay, I'll stick with this disguise self then. You find some fake snakes to put on your head. Oh, look at me! I'm a big beefy Minotaur.
Kylie will then go try and find some snakes. Or snake-like things to put on her head.
Yeah, there's plenty of things that can be used as snakes.
Yeah. She'll put them on and just kind of wave at Nick.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, a load of socks.
Yeah, it's just a load of socks filled with old socks. So they look like snakes.
Oh god, this is going to be a tragedy.
So yeah, put yourselves where you're going to be on the stage, and if you're ready, Gianni will tell the crowd that you're ready.
We get time in between to make our stuff up.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes, you get time in between each scenes. So you need to work out what you do in this scene before he starts.
Or we're just going to walk across the stage and introduce ourselves and say we are meeting up for our great quest. I don't know.
So should we reenact the tavern with all of us on there, or should we do pure introduction of how she kind of looks up at Nix's disguise self with Kazarak, how Kazarak met Nix and how Shade met Lyria?
I would rather do the tavern.
Oh, tavern.
So are you ready?
I guess.
Right, so Gianni sort of claps his hands together to get the crowd's attention, and he says, "Welcome, welcome, everybody, to the Oracle's Chosen. Now, we've had a bit of a shake-up. We've not got the original cast, But we've got a very special surprise for you, because not only is it a brand new cast that has never been seen before, it is in fact the heroes themselves coming to tell you their story. Be prepared to have your minds blown. And then he sort of bows and gestures to the stage as he wanders off to the side. He comes down here. He
I
sort of
look terrified over at Lyria.
he gestures to you all. Go, go!
Oh, Kezarek, should we enter the tavern?
Yes, I am Kazarak. I am a big grumpy Minotaur. Let's go get some booze and meet the others that we're supposed to be destined to.
Yes, we're on the way to meet the Oracle. I do actually have something as well called enthralling performance.
Oh,
Okay.
thank fuck for that.
I mean, it is basically just there's three creatures or humans on stands that I can charm if they watch and listen to the show for 1 minute.
Okay.
So they need to make a wisdom saving throw of DC 13, and they're charmed for an hour. So my plan is if they are charmed. So, and I think that was very well done, and just kind of have them cheer to try and get the rest of the audience cheering.
Okay, that's fine. We can work that in. So, anybody else jumping in this scene?
Yeah, I'm gonna come in. And I shout, I am Shade, the greatest man alive! And I'm gonna use minor illusion to fire fireballs everywhere, randomly. And then go in and say, look at me, I am awesome. And then stroke my chin.
We bow down in your presence of your mighty goatee.
Come, girl! Can I beckon? And then I can't switch costumes, can I?
No.
I haven't got anything to switch. I'll go. Can I make cast silent image of myself to mope in after him?
Yeah, yeah, you can do that.
And I'm gonna say, "Where's the booze? I'm gonna get drunk." I hear we're meeting fellow people here.
As soon as you say that, I'm going to cast Fog Cloud right in the middle of the stage. The entire stage just fills with fog. And then I sneak in, like, front and centre to the stage and dispel the fog cloud. And you just see, like, a sort of hunched cloak and robe type sort of traveller. And then turns out you just hear, yes, for it is I, Lear, and he spins around and uses his shift weave and turns into his big blue water coat and just kind of stands there with his enthralling beauty looking totally marvellous.
Ooh, ah.
And I shout, "Look, Lyria, he's stealing my limelight!"
Can you all make performance checks for me, please? To see how well your first act went.
Quick, so give me guidance.
There you go.
Skills performance. Here we go.
Oh!
Did everyone believe me? Jade the
That's my
Magnificent.
guidance. And performance.
Oh.
26 altogether.
So, the average was very high. So, you've got the crowd utterly entranced by your performance so far. They're on the edge of their seats. They're really looking forward to the next scene. So they've been clapping and cheering and going, woo! Lots of magical effects, and they love it. Crowd's loving it.
Let's fulfill our quest of going to kill the big boar.
Yes, that sounds a lovely idea. Let's go and murder boars.
I, Shade, will single-handedly take this boar on myself. Can I do a heroic pose?
You can do a heroic pose.
Can I halfway through it? Can I start laughing my head off? I think
I'm
I've
gonna go
captured
put
it
the boar
perfectly.
costume on.
Quick! I'm gonna go get changed into a human outfit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I'm gonna come out and go along the front of the stage, looking all menacing in the boar costume and shaking my head and growling. And I'm going to. What was I going to do? I was going to cast ensnaring strike, so I'm like surrounded by lots of vines and
Oh.
things to look that make the stage look like a bit like a jungly type.
There's lots of gasps in the crowd as you're coming on the stage, and you got the little MIDI orchestra doing the drums, like dum 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 dum. Lots of villainy, evil music going on.
Can I come out as a human person and go, the bear, the boar, not bear, the boar is killing all the people and eating all the food. Running about on the back somewhere.
Yeah.
Across the back of the stage, Lear comes out in the horse costume and a couple of coconuts and just like trots across the back of the stage and off the other side.
At this point, Carly will come and say, "Noble human, we will be here to save you." And then Kylie will just try and strike a heroic pose as Nyx and just.
They're going to pretend to be killed by the boar and lay on the floor.
Yeah, you can do that. You can Nyx do me an unarmed strike.
No, he'll kill me.
No, it's no damage. Don't worry.
20 it will.
No. I'm doing it for the performance side of it. It doesn't actually hit you, but it looks very real. So don't actually get hit, and you fall very eloquently, and it looks very real.
To help with that, can I cast Mage Hand and actually just push him so he actually does fall over?
Aw.
He'll land on the floor.
Just to make it look that more real.
Can I make it really dramatic as well?
So do you all want to do performance checks for that scene?
I don't know. Could I have mine with advantage?
It was performance skills.
Oh no, that's guidance. That's guidance. That's fine. I panicked a bit then. Right, it's not as good as the first scene because you haven't used as much magic, so you can see a couple of them have gone a bit. Oh, I expected a bit more, but the overall feeling that you're getting from the crowd is very positive.
To my charmed people, can I just shout as "Are you not entertained?"
You just hear 3 people whoop from the back. Whoop whoop.
I have more charm spells if needed.
I think we might need them.
Oh, dear.
So what's your next scene?
So that's where the villain makes a move.
I think that's where you're going to take me down, isn't it?
As the boar.
Oh, why does that keep coming up?
Yeah, that is. So first scene will be making the traps, I guess, and then oh no, 'cause then there's so that this will all need to be like the boar going for people, us making traps, and then the next scene will be us killing the boar.
How long does it take to cast Invisible Unseen Servant? One action.
Well, it's an actual 10 minutes or waste a spell slot in one action.
I'll use a spell slot. Because I'm going to go come in as... I can't remember his name. What's his name again?
Which one?
Who am I supposed to be playing again?
You said you were playing Shade.
Oh, that's it. I now remember his name. Right. Let's get this going. Yeah, you can dress my unseen servant if you want.
Yay!
I'm gonna stand in the middle where they're building the trap and then shout, I'm too good to dig holes. I will get my servant to do it. I get my servant who's dressed as whatever it is to pretend to dig holes while standing there mightily.
The servant's dressed like the poorest, like most downtrodden child you've seen in your life, just to really hammer home the Shade uses child labour thing.
Can I not notice it until it comes on and there's it? Can I look at it and go, oh fuck? I'm supposed to make him look mighty. Well done, child. You're saving the day.
Using the mage hand that I summoned to push Lyria over, I'm going to use that to actually start primping Nyx's hair. To make the snakes kind of go out a little bit and see like they're trying to, just float around the head.
Oh, making the snakes move.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Making a hiss at the crowd. Oh, I'm going to be out of the way for this so you don't see me.
Mage hand a couple of prop, got like a prop shovel, so there'll be like a magical shovel, like pretend to dig a hole in the stage as well.
Yeah, you got quite good special effects this time. Do you all want to make performance checks? Who was in this scene?
Oh god. I don't really matter. I'm gonna make him look beautiful anyway. Especially with a wand.
This is failing me, man.
Oh god.
17?
They all think he's a kitty catcher now.
Yeah, they all look at Lyria playing Shade, and they're kind of a bit disgusted at the fact that he uses children as servants. The opinion of Shade in general has gone down a bit.
Oh, please say you are actually recording this one so we
I
can
am.
watch this back.
Yeah,
The villain of the town. He's going to get like pelted with tomatoes on the way past.
yeah.
Sorry, Shade.
Is this where we cast hideous laughter into the crowd to make them laugh at the useful child?
Yeah, I think we need to do something to get them back on our side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you doing for your next scene?
Where the
This is
ball
great, yeah.
appears, isn't it?
Yeah, this is where I'll come back out
Nick centre stage.
and go around the front doing all my head shakes and snorts and
Yeah,
You
you've
know,
got
like if
the
you go to a
drums going
pantomime.
again, and
Yeah.
oh, blah, 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 blah,
getting
blah,
everyone to
blah, blah, blah,
boo.
blah, 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 and everyone's going. Boo.
I'd love to make my eyes light up, but I don't have anything to do that.
I have minor illusion. Can make her eyes light up with minor illusion, can I?
You
Yeah.
can, yeah. Yeah, so you're stomping around as this big ball.
Yeah,
Everyone's going. Boo.
load of steam come out my nose, sort of like. "Rrr." Right, are you guys going to taunt me over?
And come out as
Go on, Shade.
come out as Shade, and I'm gonna cast. I've got 2 left of first. Silent image of Aiden stood in the back, going, holding his hands, and I'm gonna try and throw my voice and say, "Oi, pretty boy! I bet you can't hit anything." And then I'm gonna switch to Shade and say, I'll fight you anytime, anywhere. Just pick a place and I'll fist fight you. And then turn to the boar and say, I will slay you now.
I think Lyria's enjoying this too much.
She's proper into it. She's never seen the theatre. She doesn't know what to
Nix is
expect.
as well, actually. So I'll come charging down the stage, doing all some grunts and snorts and general giant pig things, and come crashing into the pit, going, "Oh no, I have fallen into the pit!" And I'll do like ensnaring things again, so all like the vines are everywhere and
Yep.
wrapping round me.
You hear the crowd audibly go, "Oh, it's in the trap!"
Oh no, I am in the trap.
Right is in the trap, and it was my idea.
Can
No, it wasn't.
oh yes, it was. Can you all make perception checks?
Oh, God.
Oh.
Oh, hello.
Kylie and Nix, you notice that there are 4 gentlemen pushing their way through the crowds. And they
Do
get to
they
about
look
there,
angry?
and they make their way onto the stage. And they have weapons drawn.
Can I cast
Yeah.
Hold Person on one of them?
I've used all my spell slots.
So at this point, Lear kind of whispers back to the guy at the side of the stage, going, "Now!" And he literally comes in, like he gets shoved on stage on the back of the Chiron horse, which now has a mannequin in the front. So he just kind of wheels slowly on, riding on the back of it.
You want about this guy?
Some weird pulley system that the head's going up and down.
Mage hand moving up, toy bow and arrow up and down.
Can I shout, look, adoring fans! They may be talent scouts!
Yeah, Kylie's going to cast Hold Person.
On which one?
The one that's on the stage.
Okay.
To that one. And as she does, so needs to DC 13 Wisdom.
No, fails it, so he's held.
And at that point, she's just like, now, fans, you can meet us after the show. Please do not interrupt the act. This is art at work, you know.
It will be
The
initiative.
heavy stayed run. They're after you,
fighting
child
us?
abuse.
They are. And Gianni sort of stage whispers from the side. He says, "The show must go on!"
Now, I'm going to make Shade look like a drunk. Gonna down my bottle of whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. Aye, Shade, the drunk. We'll fight you all! Where's the... I don't even know. What am I pressing? There we go.
Alright. So, Nick, you are first to act. You can see these people
Right.
coming on the stage, weapons drawn. They are going to attack you, and they look like they're going to attack you.
I'm going to come over to this corner and I'm going to shout over to Matey Boots McGee over here and say, what the hell is going on?
I don't know who they are.
I will shoot that one.
Okay. That's a hit.
Trying to remember what spell Shade has. Not much. He doesn't do much, does he?
No, he just stands there and gets all grumpy.
Whinges. That'll be my turn. I'm just going to be looking around.
Kylie.
Kylie is going to cast Hideous Laughter on this one. So needs a DC 13 Wisdom.
No, he is hideously laughtering.
And she's going to shout to the crowd, these people find it so entertaining they couldn't resist themselves. And at that point, she's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 back. And then
Okay.
they go.
Right, with hold person, does he get a save?
Oh, that's a good question. Choose a humanoid that you can see.
It's
within
every
range.
round.
At the end of
Yeah,
his go.
End of his go, yeah.
Yeah, end of each turn. Make another.
So he passed. So next turn he'll get to do something. Leah.
I'm going to cast Bless on Lyria and Nyx and and Kylie. So that's a Bless for Lyria, Nyx, and Kylie. D4 air attacks and saves.
Are you moving anywhere or?
I'm gonna.
Well,
I'm still on the back of the.
you are on the back of a horse.
So yeah, I'll probably be half my movement to get off the horse. So it'll be 15 to get off, and then 20. What that mean? 35. Yeah, I've just got you. That's
Okay.
me.
This guy's got to make his save. Is it still wisdom?
Yeah.
No, he's still laughing. Laughing boy. Right, this guy. 5, 10, 15. He's going to get to there. He's going to try and hit you. Lyria.
33 damage.
And this one. 10, 15, 20. He's going to get to there. And he's going to hit you, Lyria. And not hit you, probably.
Only just, though.
And it's your go.
Close. I get disadvantage if I cast a spell, don't I?
Depends on the spell.
It's ranged attack.
If it's a range attack, then yeah.
Actually, I might. This one.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Mind Spike on him. DC 16,
Fails, so he takes the damage.
18 damage.
Give him a mighty headache.
I know exactly where he is at all times. For an hour, I think. Something stupid like that.
Are you saying anything to the crowd?
Look at my mighty power.
Like incorporate it into the play or something? Like it was meant to happen?
It was meant to happen. Jade's the most amazing person ever, can I shout? He's not a child labourer or a drunk. That's my go.
So Nyx,
If I come here, would that be classed as flanking?
no,
Would that be enough for
this
flanking?
one would be.
Yeah, I think I can only go 30.
Yeah, you can go diagonally.
Oh yeah, I can, can't I?
Yeah.
Here then to there.
Okay, I shall do that. Favoured foe, is that classed as a bonus action?
Yes,
Or
it
is
is.
it just, it is. So I'll do that on him and attack with my sword.
You got to hit him first and
Hit
then do
first, and then do sword. Alright,
favoured
sword
foe.
then.
So 8 isn't a
2.
hit.
In that case, for my bonus action, I will do Zephyr Strike.
Which is also a miss, I'm afraid.
But I've still got the movement ability with that if it misses, haven't I?
I'm not sure. I don't know how Zephyr Strike works. I've never used it.
Do-do-do-do.
Let me read it.
Until the spell ends, I don't provoke opportunity attacks.
Yeah.
Once before the spell ends, I can give myself advantage on. Oh yeah, I didn't do that as advantage for a start.
So yeah, that would be a hit.
Well, we'll do the 1d8 for Zephyr Strike then. So that's the extra 6.
Yep.
And I get to move an extra 30 feet. Woohoo! But I'm not actually going to move, so that'll be me.
Okay. Kylie.
She is going to, as a bonus, cast some bardic inspiration on Lear. And whilst doing that, she's going to shout, so, "You're always dressed to kill. Now use your magic the same way." But still trying to sell it as a part of the act. And then she is going to cast Dissonant Whispers on the guy between Nyx and Lyria.
Okay.
Do it first level. So it needs to do a DC 13 Wisdom.
Passed.
It passes, so it still takes some damage, I believe.
Takes half, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and it doesn't move.
Okay.
And Kylie's just going to stamp her foot. Like, "You're ruining my show!"
Your inspiration's a D6.
Yes.
Okay, so this one is gonna come. Oh no, oh no, that one's free now, isn't it? Yeah. So this one's gonna come here, and he's going to attack with advantage on Nyx. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
With my new shield, so that will, yeah.
And Lear, it's your go.
Which hopefully is rolled off stage by now, and walk up to like right up to this guy and just say, "Be gone, fall!" and then bitch slap him and use inflict wounds.
Oh, that's definitely a hit. And yet that guy falls to the floor with inflicted wounds. He is
Just kind of
dead.
look at my hands again, look at my hands and go, "These things are fucking meter."
Is that your go?
Yep, that's me.
Right, he's got a wisdom saving throw to do. And he fails, he's still laughing boy.
One of you is finding this funny.
Yeah, he's gonna go for Lyria again for an 11.
That hit. And then, is it my go?
And then it's your go, yes.
On this one here, I'm going to cast Maximilian's Earthing Grasp on him. But then I'm going to use one of my potency, so he rolls a 4 for his save.
Okay.
So he takes 9 damage, and he's restrained.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move. No, actually I'm going to stay there. So she gets advantage on him.
Okay, Nyx, it's your go.
Well, I was actually going to run away, but yeah, might as well hit him. I'll take the 20.
So 20 is a hit. And he's looking very badly beaten now.
Well, I'll put the favoured foe on him then this time.
Okay, to roll your favoured foe damage. 4. That one falls to the floor. Dead.
And I'm running away.
You will. Oh no, you don't prefer attack opportunities, do you?
Nope.
That's fine. Kylie.
Ooh. So he's dead. He's belly injured but laughing. He's dead, so it's just him. Ooh. That's good. I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration on Lyria. And as we do that, I'm going to shout, "Worry not. When I tell the tale of this moment one day, I'll leave out how you would have failed spectacularly without my help." And give so that's Bardic Inspiration for Lyria for a D6. But that's Magical Inspiration, which I'll just put in, so it's in there. So you can use that on healing or damage for spells.
All right.
And then I am going to cast Hideous Laughter on the uninjured dude there.
Okay.
Cast it at first level and needs a DC 13 Wisdom shot.
Passes.
And that's the end of my go.
Okay. This one he didn't like that. He tried casting that. So he's going to get to here. He comes full swing at you for a 21. He really didn't
Nah.
like that.
No, he really didn't, did he?
So that's his go. Leah. You can hear in the crowd that as you're making hits or getting hit or whatever, there's cheers and booing going on when the thugs are hitting you and stuff like that. The crowd are proper cheering you on.
Yeah, can I kind of like, while I'm standing there, just kind of like bring my arms up, kind of try to get them to rally, like, way, way.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to walk to the front of the stage here, jump off, and look at the guy, and then look out to the audience and point at him and go, "Huh?" Like thumbs up, thumbs down.
And they're all cajoling you and they're putting their thumbs down and like, get him!
So I'm just going to turn around and go, "Taste my heel, evildoer!" And I'm going to use my feet to hit him with inflict wounds. So they stand on him. And this is an attack roll.
It is an attack roll.
Oh yeah, prone, so that'll be advantage, yeah.
Yeah, because he's on the floor laughing and rolling about.
Wounds. Oh, well, no, it means 26.
Oh, he's not quite dead. He didn't like it. He convulsed a bit and he had a bit of a fit, but he's still laughing as he's rolling about. But he's wheezing as he's rolling about. And the crowd just goes wild. They go, "Ah!" They
That's
love
me.
it. Alright, let's see if he gets out of it.
He has advantage because he took damage.
Ah. He still failed it anyway. He's still rolling about on the floor laughing. Lyria.
I am going to move. I don't know. I'm gonna move my grasp, stony grasp thing here,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna that's an action in it. So to do that, I don't really have any bonus actions, so that's my go.
Nyx.
Is this guy still going, isn't he?
This guy is.
Yeah.
Oh, roll me a d4. No, you're alright. You didn't hit Lyria in the back of the head. You'd have killed her, seriously.
Oh, say, would my bless have made that any different?
No,
the
it's a
final
nat
score?
one. It's a nat one.
I'm just gonna run about, kind of cheering up the crowd.
Okay. Kylie. This guy came and thwacked you in the face.
Yeah. As a bonus action, I am going to do Mantle of Inspiration, which grants 5 temporary hit point to 3 characters I can see. So Nyx, Lyria, and Lear will get 5 temporary hit points.
Thank you.
And then, because I'm not liking him that close, I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers again. But at 2nd level this time. So it needs a DC 13 Wisdom throw.
No, it failed it.
So it's going to take 11 damage, have to move full away from me, and opportunity attacks from me and Lyria.
He's going to be moving through your grasp. What does that do?
I'm not sure. I have to do a. It's normally an action to make it do anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actions to do
So
things.
it's not like difficult terrain or anything like that.
No, no.
Well, you can do your opportunity attacks.
No.
That's a hit.
Damage. Normal.
Lyria tries to slap him but misses.
4 damage from me.
That's took off. So that's his go. Is that your go?
Yeah, and she's just gonna, as he moves away, she's gonna shout out, "Stop interrupting this play! I'm having fun!"
So it's his go. He doesn't have to run away anymore, does he?
No.
So he's going to come back. He's going to straight thwack him in the face. Not with that, he's not though. He's a
No,
bit
he's not.
he's a bit knackered. He's been running about. Leah.
It's not. I don't know how to put temporary on, so I'll just put an extra 5 onto my health just for now. Just so,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. Well, is it just on the?
If you click on plus temp underneath your hit points, like if you double click your character, and your character sheet will come up, you'll have temp
Yeah.
underneath your hit
Temp
points.
then.
You can put the plus 5 in there.
Click on that.
Yeah. And then just put
Oh, so
5 there.
put 5, but take that back down to 18. That's how you do it. Well, that's just
Looks
groovy.
like Lyria
Okay,
needs to
thank
do
you.
it as
Sorry.
well.
I'm going to do sort of Hulk Hogan-esque, whirl my hand around and hold it up to my ear a couple of times to the audience. And then there's a bong as I point at him and cast Toll the Dead on him. Okay, so yeah.
16. Save. Wisdom. Disadvantage still got a 17. Sorry. I gave him
Damn.
disadvantage because you were so eloquent. Sorry. So, oh, is that your go?
I'm going to bonus action healing word Lyria.
Oh.
Healing word.
Shade never does anything like this for me.
There you go. 7 health.
That's most of my hit points.
That's me.
Okay, so this guy gets to see if he gets out of his thing. Wisdom. No, he's still rolling about on the floor, wheezing and laughing away. He's laughing even harder now because you missed him with your bong. Lyria.
I am going to get my Earthen Grasp to grab this guy here.
Okay.
So he needs DC 16 strength test. But I'm going to use my last potency to make him roll a 14.
Okay.
And he's going to take 2d6 worth of damage. And he's now restrained.
So it takes 4 damage. Is that your go?
That is my go, yes.
Nyx.
Let's try shooting him one more time.
Is it this one down here?
Yeah.
He's not quite dead, but that arrow hurt him.
I'll chuck in a favoured foe then.
Stuck in his back.
Oh, extra 2.
He's not quite dead. He's sort of dropping to his knees a bit as he's trying to keep himself up.
And I'll play up for the crowd and just stamp my feet and go, damn it!
The crowd are booing that he's not dead. They're booing him. Kylie.
Harley's going to take her longsword out and kind of hold it up to the crowd. Same as like Lear did with his thumbs up and down. So, what do you all think?
Get him! Kill him! Woo!
And then,
Bloodthirsty.
because he's restrained, do I get advantage?
You do
You do
indeed.
indeed, yes.
Yo. Oh, that's just a normal one. I haven't done it at advantage. I'll just roll again. So it's 13.
The 13 hit.
Okay, so
No
then damage.
matter what you roll. How the fuck can you roll 0?
I have -1 strength.
You can't roll 0. You have to roll at least something.
Should I roll it again?
How does that work?
I must have rolled a natural 1. And because I've got -1, it's taken it down to a 0.
It must be how it works.
Yeah, it's 1d8 -1.
But not on your attack, surely.
Oh, my
It's dealing
damage.
0.
Yeah. I've sold 0.
Is it
it's very
possible?
good.
If he rolls a natural 1 on the damage, then -1, it would go down to 0.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you like bop him on the head or
I
something?
slap him with the non-sharp, the flat blade of my sword. Dunk. Just to kind of get the crowd going.
Yeah, you just sort of give him a bit of a bitch slap.
Yeah. I look
If
over you
it-
and shrug like, what the fuck?
This is why I don't want to do combat.
So is that your go?
Apparently so. Actually, no. Because I did a actual martial attack, I am going to cast Healing Word on myself as a bonus action.
Okay.
So I get 6. And that's me, and I think I'm out of spell slots. Shit. Yeah, I am. I've only got cantrips.
Okay, to get out of this restrained, what does he need to do?
Strength DC 16.
Got cantrips.
Oh,
Got out of
Is
it. So I'm assuming that's an action, isn't it, to try and get out?
right. To break out the restrained, target can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save. On success, the target escapes and is no longer restrained by the hand. So yeah, he's used an action to get out so he can move
Okay.
if he wants to.
He doesn't want to move. Leia.
So Lear's going to run over here and jump up onto the front of the stage, throw his arms out to the side and go, ha-ha! And then just point at the guy on the floor and cast Chill Touch.
That is
And I'm
a
gonna
hit.
Yeah!
And he is dead.
Old Spanish flamenco style with like the one heel behind the other foot. Just boom!
The crowd just go wild. They go, woo! They love it. Is that your go?
Yep.
Lyria.
I really hope he's on 1 hit point.
Unarmed strike is a hit. Lyria just punches him straight in the face and kills him outright.
Look at the might of Shade.
Well done. Brilliant.
So that is the end of combat. So you're out of turn order. And the crowd are loving it. They're clapping, they're cheering. This is the best play they've seen in a long time.
Can I put my hand on my chin and then find out why my little goatee's sweated off for it? Oh no, I've lost it. I can't be Shane anymore.
So is there anything else you want to do acting wise, or are you going to gesture for Gianni to bring?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're gonna make a bonfire set and then sacrifice a boar to, is it Pythos? Is it Pythos?
Pythor.
Pythor, that's the one. I'll get his name right one day. And say, to Pythor, the spreader of seeds. May his children live long and something like that.
I'm going to cast the light cantrip underneath it and make it a red light, just so that it kind of like glows red from underneath.
And
It
can I
looks-
use Mage Hand to kind of drag all of the bodies into this light bonfire? This is our sacrifice now. Not just the boar.
Well, before we burn them, can we go through them to see if they've got anything on them that gives them away to why the hell they attacked us?
No, it's fake burning. They're not actually being burnt.
Oh, that's all right then.
yeah, the fake
Wait for the cut.
burn.
Wait for the cut.
Nix looks slightly disappointed.
So yeah, at this point, if you're gesturing, Gianni comes out and he says, "Give it up for our famous heroes!" And the crowd are cheering and clapping and whooping and they're going wild. They loved it. And they haven't seen this much fighting in a play in a long time. They loved it. And then he bows. He says, "See you tomorrow night."
And Kylie's going to point to the three people that she's charmed in the audience. You three are my favourite people.
You just hear them all go, "Woo!"
And bows.
And steam.
And then the curtain is drawn.
All right, I'm looking at these guys like, what the hell is going on here? Like, who the hell are they?
Gianni says they were sniffing around in the morning before he left to go for his lunch.
Did they talk to anyone?
Not that he saw. He trusted his staff to deal with it. Clearly, not very well. They didn't do a very good job.
Hmm.
Anything on them?
They have obviously their armor and their weapons. But if you want to make an investigation check,
Mhm.
Kylie will as well.
you've got one each. Right. So Kylie, you find on yours a little. It's like a little token, a little emblem. It's like a metal symbol, and it is the symbol of Sidon, the Titan.
I'll kind of hold it up. It's like, I think Sidon may be a little bit pissed off at us.
Just a tad.
But yes, he says. Gianni says, "Thank you. You saved my show." And he says, "Wait here." And he sort of trots off over here somewhere. And he gets to his things, and he comes back with 4 bags, and he hands each of you a little coin pouch bag, and it's full of coins.
Awesome. See you tomorrow night.
Because Kylie's quite happy a bit having been performing her wings sprout out just momentarily. She's so happy about being on stage. She's like, thank you for the opportunity, good sir.
To be the actors that follow that.
Yeah.
He sort of looks at your wings, and he sort of hesitantly touches it. He says, "That's beautiful. It's
thank you."
beautiful."
If you need to touch more, you need to pay.
Oh.
Yeah.
He sort of retracts his hand a bit. He says, "Oh, I don't have much more money left."
Well, you get 1 free touch and then it's 5 gold piece each time.
I'll bear that in
I'm
mind.
gonna have a rummage in the pouch to see if it was see if it's worth coming back tomorrow to do it again. You know.
There is 50 gold pieces in your pouch.
Oh hell yeah!
Kylie's going to look very excitedly over Nick. I can get my short bow. I can get my short bow. just start bouncing up and down. As she does that, her wings keep on catching each time, and she just gets a little bit higher and higher and higher each time.
Leo's going to brush past Gianni on his way to the back with everybody else, and on his way past, he's going to kind of whisper to him, "You can touch me anytime for free, darling."
Can I say to him, for tomorrow's performance, make sure you get a lot more children. We might need them.
He says,
Well, that's
well,
taken a turn.
well, I'm sure I could find some children in the city.
You can have child labourers.
Cannon.
I take it you're doing Shade story tomorrow then, yeah?
Yeah.
Story of how one wizard became a child labourer.
Drunkard.
That's brilliant. But yes, that is the end of this little mini session. I think that went a lot better than if you had all been there, to be honest. I think that was quite cool. I really enjoyed that.
That was so much fun.